I was searching my attic on one Saturday. While my parents went shopping for groceries, I came across a box labeled Old Tapes. Curiously, I opened the box to find a variety of old VHS tapes on the different TV shows. The one on the top of the pile was caught my eye because it had a familiar face. It was called Mickey and the Flip Mirror. On the cover was Mickey Mouse with Donald, Goofy, and Pete. However, something was very different about the way their faces were. Donald looked very depressed and sat on the ground holding his legs. Goofy was at the tops of Pete's boat looking very angry and the fist in his air, and one of his shoes was missing. Pete was hanging off to the side of his boat with both hands on the rail trying to pull himself up. Also, Pete had a depressed look on his face. Mickey was the one who caught my eye. He was sitting on a pile of hay with an evil grin on his face. A foot came from the hay at the back, and Mickey was holding a pitchfork with some dripping off it. Remember, I was young when this happened, and the movie was all black and white, so I didn't take to mind what it could be. Excited, I closed the box and ran downstairs to the basement. Later, I placed in the VHS tape and waited for it to start. For about 2 minutes, it was just a black screen with faint sounds of waves. Soon, a picture of Mickey came onto the screen. He was learning from the middle of the skull and crossbones symbol. This unnerved me in a way. Then it faded to the title screen. It begins on a nice day, showing Pete's boat pulling into the harbor, and he appeared angry about something. Soon, Goofy ran from his barn in a hurry and started yelling at Pete. However, Pete simply pushed him out of the way, dropping Goofy in the water. The video distorted for a couple of seconds and showed Goofy coming out of his barn again. This time, he ran to Pete. Goofy grabbed him and whipped Pete into the wall of his barn. Suddenly, a pile of hay fell into Pete and tramped him underneath. Then Goofy walked up to him, and I saw a close-up of Goofy's face, which showed complete anger in his eyes. Once he reached the haystack, my television screen turned black for a couple seconds, soon as the words saying 10 minutes before, and showed Mickey on a hill with his friends, Goofy and Donald. Looking at the mirror, all of them had a scared expressions on their face. Mickey reached for the mirror, and the bolt of lightning strikes on the glass, shattering with all the three of them. Both Mickey and Goofy were fine, but Donald stumbled back too far, tumbling off the hill. The video distorted again, and I heard a creepy laughter coming from my television. Showed a broken mirror again, however, the shards of glass, which still remained on the glowed a dark red, and the mirror repaired itself. Mickey looked around and spotted Goofy running down the hill. Once Mickey looked at the back of the mirror, a mysterious hand grabbed him and pulled Mickey inside. Now a darker and wrecked up version of Mickey emerged from the mirror. His clothing was ripped and he appeared to be almost beast-like. The screen faded to Goofy, who was still running down the hill and trips on a rock, rolling into the town. Now I saw him all cut up and bleeding. Soon someone approached Goofy and dragged him away. However, I couldn't tell who it was at the moment. Later, the inside of the Goofy's barn was shown. Both Mickey's doppelganger and the mirror were now in the barn. Soon the evil version of Mickey placed Goofy inside the mirror, and a bright light revealed a hooded figure it was a darker version of Donald. Soon an evil version of Goofy stepped outside the mirror. All three of them started to walk in a circle, and the television screen had faded to static. I could hear for 5 minutes as it was low humming footsteps. Eventually, the words "after Pete" appeared on my television screen. It faded to an image of Goofy covered in a dark liquid, which was dripping down from him and the haystack. Soon, Mickey lit a match and set Pete's boats on fire. After that, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy marched towards the middle of the harbor. They all looked straight at the screen, like they could see me, and started walking towards it. As they walked, their appearance slowly became more frightening. Mickey grew larger as his teeth morphed into fangs and claws became claws. Donald's beak metaled off, revealing a grotesque mouth full of shark-like teeth and a foam. All the whimsical audio is now replaced by a loud humming behind them. The entire town was burning to the ground. Right before they could reach me, I witnessed Pete's grave in the left corner of the screen burst into flames. Soon a single hand came out from the fire, frightened. I jumped out of my seat and the eject button on my TV. The video just stopped just before they got to the screen. However, the humming was still ringing in my ears, but after I removed the VHS, I took the video and was well and put it in the box. I burned them all so it couldn't be tempted to finish it or watch anything else in that box, which could be worse. The only thing I could remember before was the video. Before burning the video was the cover with Mickey Mouse again. It was different this time. It showed what I last saw, their evil grins and faces coming towards me. However, the one thing I'll never forget is when I put the movie into the box to be burnt. I saw something on the black cover. The mirror from the films now showed the original Mickey, Goofy, and Donald with the depressed faces. A pair of red eyes glowed behind them in the darkness.